the core thing with Igba boy is the patience.
Now, the impression is the Igbos are trying to rebuild their commercial empires. Why is it that they find that need to move out of that system that they are trying to rebuild and go to other places to do the business?
The Eastern Bloc is not enough.
They say wherever you go to, you don't see an Igbo man.
Turn back.
Why is that, and what is Igba boy?
Are other tribes allowed to participate? Maybe like a Yoruba, a Hausa, or any other tribe in Nigeria?
Anybody do it?
Can anybody come to you and learn from you?
Okay, so there are people that have, other tribes, that doing the Igba boy.
What is changing? There's digital online businesses. Technology is setting in right now. There are people who do businesses and you don't see their faces anymore.
Yeah.
How do you think this Igba boy apprenticeship thing would evolve or adapt to today's situation?
Do you feel that the Igba boy business school system, because that's what it is, is it justifiably a good equivalent? Or do you think someone who goes through Igba boy and still needs to go to a Harvard Business School, some formal business school?
There's this belief that when they want to start, they'll take them to a shrine. Yeah, but Chief will confirm to us that is it true that they go to a shrine where, and what makes the apprentice so committed, so trustworthy, that they don't steal money, they don't run away with the goods. Sometimes they send them abroad.
And then the prayers in the morning, before, when the shops open in the morning, like early in the morning, the Igbo boys and their bosses gather and they in the morning.
I think it's now becoming like a congregation.
They shut down the market for this purpose.
But for a few minutes in the morning.
The ones in the afternoon.
Nigeria, we are this religion. I agree with you.
I'm not sure that I agree with you, sir, because people get their motivation from the place of their faith. So if you're taking a few hours in the week, to connect your faith with the works of your hands, I'm working with the assumption that when you do go back to the work, you are more motivated.
But mind you that these people, they went to church, they spent like 6 hours the previous day.
Exactly.
Yeah, because most times this is done on Monday, right? And on Sunday, they have been to church, they spend the whole day in the church. And then on Monday...
That's why NAFTA shows up. They will fight NAFTA. But why would they spend that time just God's anyway?
The Igbo people are known for a unique business model, so effective that it's now being studied in institutions around the world.
And today we are being joined by Maxwell Ejelike, the CEO of PMAX Shipping, one of the Atlantic Canada's leading shipping businesses here in Nova Scotia, to help us understand this powerful tradition and what it means for our community. It's good to have you in the studio today.
Thank you.
You look like a big chief. Like I said, when the big masquerade comes out, what happens? The small ones to bow.
Yes, so
Thank you for coming, Chief.
Thank you.
thanks for joining us. What is the is Day Maxwell appropriate, or what would be the right term if I wanted to address my big brother? Is it Mazi Maxwell? What's the Igbo term, the correct Igbo term for my big brother?
Nukunwokem.
Nukunwokem Maxwell.
Thank you.
Right, it's good to have you, Chief Maxwell. The truth of the matter is that when you came in here, the room in this place changed, the light, everything changed, because we felt the vibration. And when you have people like this, nothing stops you from feeling good with yourself.
The Emperor, the champion is here.
Let's begin with, tell us who are the Igbo people? Because I feel like I said before, you are the right peg in the right hole. You have it very well in you, and you can explain better to us who are the Igbo people.
Okay, so the Igbo people, thank you for having me. And the Igbo people, now, in the Nigerian context, the Igbo people are, you find them in the southeastern part of Nigeria, which is made up of the Anambra, Enugu, Abia, Imo, Ebonyi. Now, in some of the south states, like the Delta, Rivers, there are still Igbo people in those areas. Politically, politics in Nigeria, the Delta man might say he's not an Igbo. The Rivers man, the Ikwere man might say he's not Igbo. But
so are there some that are less Igbo and some that are more Igbo?
No, there is nothing like less Igbo. There's nothing like
No, but unless you're covering up, we know that they're boy people. There's a way the entire Igbo communities, right? The way they treat them, but correct that impression.
No, we don't treat.
Are they the same?
Igbos are the same everywhere. Whether Igbo man in Delta, whether Igbo man in the Rivers, we are all Igbos.
Is the dressing the same?
Okay. The dressing are the same. Now, some people might wear different things, but we still have the central Igbo. Okay. We still have the general, like some Igbos, they have different dialects. But like I said, all Igbo man is an Igbo man, whether
anywhere.
Anywhere.
So today we want to really talk about, before you come in there, Soji, we want to talk about that Igba boy. Good. Business school.
Yeah.
Owned by the
Igba boy.
But before then also still, they say wherever you go to, you don't see an Igbo man.
Turn back.
Why is that, and what is Igba boy?
Well, like we all know that Igbo people, they generally will migrate to different areas,
right.
And that's because, as a result, that as you know, the Igbo, because of our business,
right.
Mm-hmm.
So we tend to capture different markets, and that's why we go different places.
Importer.
You go to the north, you go to
Pure water.
I always find around that whenever the Igba boy is being discussed, the concept of migration also is attached to it. Historically, the Igbos are known to be very entrepreneurial, right from the pre-colonial system. We have that in history. But I think it became more sophisticated due to post-war necessity, the Nigerian post-war necessity. Now, the impression is the Igbos are trying to rebuild their commercial empires. Why is it that they find that need to move out of that system that they are trying to rebuild and go to other places to do the business?
Okay, so let's just understand that even before the Nigerian Civil War, the Igbos were everywhere in Nigeria. My dad lives in the north before the war. My dad came back to the east because of the war. And after the war, he didn't go back. The same thing, my mom was born in Ilorin, Kwara State. Yes. My mom went to school there. Again, they came back to the east because of the war, and they couldn't go back after the war on that. So, and that is so. Prior to the war, the Igbos have always migrated, and just like you said, the business. Igbo men, they're looking for different markets. The Eastern Bloc is not enough. There are people that have businesses in the east, but they have branches everywhere in Nigeria, even outside Nigeria, on that. So it's a traditional thing that Igbos we have always migrating from one place to the other. So now, when we're saying, mind you, that when you are talking about rebuilding, some of these businesses were not only in the east. There are people that have businesses in the north, like I gave an example with my parents. They have business in the north, so they couldn't go back. If they have gone back, they would have rebuilt the business in the north about that. So, but because of some certain things, they couldn't go back about that. So migrating, it's been there before the war on that. So, but the most important thing, the main thing is that is because of the need to acquire opportunities. Exactly. That's what makes it an Igbo man.
So quickly, on the positive side of things, Igbos are the ones that we've known to handle this Igbo boy thing. Are other tribes allowed to participate? Maybe like a Yoruba, a Hausa, or any other tribe in Nigeria? Can anybody come to you and learn from you?
Okay,
That's
so
not Igbo.
So now, first of all, let me explain the concept of Igba boy. So the Igba boy is basically between the Oga and the apprentice that they normally call the boy.
So like a mentor-mentee.
Exactly, mentor-mentee arrangement on that.
Yeah.
Now, back in the days, the people that go for the boy, the apprenticeship system or the Igba boy, most of them is, their family cannot be able, they're not able to send them to formal education, or even the people that, they want to do business, their family do not have enough money, the capital for them to do business. So what they now do is that, we can now go and learn the market, live under this man, the roof of this man, he stays there, and takes, goes to the shop, takes care of the man's business, and he's basically lived there as a member of the family, and then after a certain number of years, he settles him on that. So that was the Igba boy system. He gives him the capital, then he can start his own. It's not now, things have changed a lot about that. The Igba boy is not restricted just to the Igbos. If you in the market or places, there are people that have, other tribes, that doing the Igba boy. So it's not just meant for the Igbos. Anybody, any tribe, even the white, the black, the Yoruba, Hausas, they can do the Igba boy. It's just not for the Igbos.
I remember a guest that came on one of our sister shows who was speaking about the African way of learning, and alluded to the Igba boy system in saying that it's not really an African way to sit in a classroom, look at a board, read things from left to right. That Africans originally learn by doing under a master or under a mentor, which I think, is the scenario that, is being described here. For me, my experience with Igba boy is the movie Afamefuna that starred Kanayo, veteran Nigerian actor. It was nice to see his face again on that movie. And it was very interesting to watch. The parts that I could really relate to in that movie was, being back in the either Tejo show market or what are the other markets, in Lagos, and you're going and then someone put my color, and then someone just drag your hand and, like be forcing you to buy. So that boisterous, bold marketing and advertising, not caring who, and then the prayers in the morning before when the shops open in the morning, like early in the morning, the Igbo boys and their bosses gather and they in the morning.
I think it's now becoming like a congregation of 3-4 shops doing the prayers.
Not even,
it's kind of affects the business, the commerce, because they shut down the market for this purpose.
Boys, for a few minutes in the morning.
They have the ones in the afternoon now.
No, it's normally in the morning. Now, even it's general now. Like you go, like sometimes when I go back home and then I say, why didn't you go to market today? And he said, no, today is prayer. So now, not the entire day. So normally they do it like maybe till 12 or maybe and then the market now.
But that's a lot of loss of resources.
Well, it's
I agree with you, but Nigeria, we are this religion. I agree with you.
I'm not sure that I agree with you, sir, because people get their motivation from the place of their faith. So if you're taking a few hours in the week, to connect your faith with the works of your hands, I'm working with the assumption that when you do go back to the work, you are more motivated, you're more filled with
very spiritual.
But mind you, but mind you that these people, they went to church, they spent like 6 hours the previous day.
Exactly.
Yeah, because most times this is done on Monday, right? And on Sunday, they have been to church, they spend the whole day in the church. And then on Monday...
That's why if NAFDAC shows up, they will fight NAFDAC. But why would they spend that time just gospel? Anyway, I think that's the Nigerian thing. But give us your own experience. Because this whole thing, we want to hear from someone who has actually experienced
the
Igba boy.
right?
The Igba boy. Yes, like I went through the Igba boys, not the traditional way
were you?
that it was done. So
But I want to assume that you went to a formal school, got very high. Please tell us now.
Okay.
How old were you when you started Igba Boy? How was all the juicy details? I want to hear.
Wait now. Go through this. This man has something to tell us.
Okay.
So anyway, I went to a formal school. I did a BSc in computer science in Nigeria.
Okay.
Then I came back.
You're listening.
I came back here. I came to Canada. I came to Canada as a student, and I did a master's in computer in the university. But as you all know, it has always been
Business.
the business that's the cotton. So I remember, when I finished the master's, then I started working as a database administrator. I remember the first time I came to work with at CGI. It's a consultancy company in Halifax, and that's what brought me to Halifax. Okay. So I remember the first day I came, and I was still trying to say, okay, well, this is just going to be for a couple of temporary things. So the first thing I did was the project that I was assigned. I just looked at it and to know how long is the project, and it was a 5-year project. I said, okay, well, I'm sure before the end of that project, I'll be out of this place, to start my business about that. So when I decided, I grew up in my dad, my mom, both of them, they own their business. So I came abroad, to study and also have experience about the business and then be able to do things on my own. So, and I needed to learn the auto parts business. Right. So I got somebody in Nigeria, and I was in Nigeria then. Okay. And I met him, and then he now said, well, he never thought about bringing parts from Canada to Nigeria. I said, well, actually, I've thought about that, but, the engines have different names, they have different nomenclature. There is a names that they call it in Nigeria, different from what they call it here. Yeah. This one has to match. So, and I said, okay, maybe I can work on that. You want to understand? Okay. So that's how we started, and so that's how the Igba Boy started. Okay. So, even when I got back and I started looking at it, I called him. I said, okay, I've seen this car and I want to buy it to dismantle. Can you tell me what do I need to bring up at this? And then he started going through, started telling me about the business, the things, how to bring the goods that, for the business to work. He says sometimes when you bring just the engine, people might think that you just went to a mechanic shop and brought the engines that are bad. But when you bring it complete, like the engine, the body parts, the dashboard and everything, people will say, oh, actually, this was a dismantled car. It gives them more, they have more credibility, more confidence on that, So that's one of the things that, he started teaching me, and then he started giving me the idea, the prices of how that, sells. So it was so in fact, my phone bill, those days, there was not like WhatsApp. So, we buy a card and then it was calling. So
remote. So this was remote lecture. You were remote lecturing.
Boy. So, and he was putting me through, telling me, okay, this car, guiding me on that. Mm-hmm. So we did this thing, and then when he brought and then was giving me the prices so that I don't overpay on the goods.
How long was your so in when you were giving us the definition of Igba Boy, you said there'll be a set number of years.
Yes.
How many years was your own training in this apprenticeship?
Oh, I can tell you that my apprenticeship have not ended. I'm still on it. Okay. About that. So I'm still on it.
Yeah. So, but in the course of learning from that, your boss, did he tell you the other skills that they will say, okay, that thing you're looking for, we have it inside our warehouse, but they don't have it there.
We get that.
Yeah. Of course, he told me the skills, but the thing is that the selling I'm not there when they are selling, right? So, but of course, it's the things that
supply part.
yeah. So ice brings and the guys that sells it, they do that. So I didn't play a role on that. You know? It's in our workshop.
Toby was asking me about how the masters trust these boys so well. What was that your question?
Yeah.
So it's very similar to that, but you know, there's this belief, or not belief. I probably have seen it 1 or 2 times. Maybe there was a fight, and then the trust that is between the Oga and the apprentice, you know, it's born out of a rumor on the street, that when they want to start, they'll take them to a shrine and they must swear to a particular god, swear allegiance.
The apprentice is the one to swear.
Yeah, the apprentice will swear. I don't know if it's a Kija. I don't know if it's a Kija or not. Yeah, but Chief will confirm to us that is it true that they go to a shrine to swear? And what makes the apprentice so committed, so trustworthy that they don't steal money, they don't run away with the goods? Sometimes they send them abroad.
In all cases, so.
Yeah, well, for most cases.
Well, it's here to clarify.
Okay, so no, like I said, you know, growing up, we have the apprentice in my house. My dad never took them to shrine to swear on that, and then it's just generally trust. That's what it is. Now, did some people misuse the trust? Definitely, there are some people that did that, but in generally speaking, a lot of it worked. It's trust. I know now, this time around, they have like a shorty, a guarantor.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
Now most people will now say, okay, you need to bring somebody.
Bring 2 people that will swear, that will write, that will sign.
That will sign, exactly.
Okay.
So that you're not gonna you won't be deceived about that. So it's just a trust system.
So no Okija shrine, no.
No. I don't. Well, but I just mentioned about the people doing the prayers. You know, do they do the prayer and then go to the shrine? They can't go to the.
Well, our viewers, I'm happy you've heard it. For those of you who have that thought in your head before, no more Okija shrine.
And some of these things we see them in Nollywood movies.
Oh,
it's possible. Some people might be. Is there a power in the Okija shrine? I don't know. I've never been there. But some of these things might be just a way to scare the
media perception.
You know, and it might be a media. No, I'm sure too. Even within the organs, you know, there's some people that will tell you
might do that.
Yeah, it is, and
like
it might be exactly. It might be a threat. It comes like a threat.
Yeah. But you are in the West now, and there are a lot of people here are looking forward to becoming professors and so on. How are you people planning that people around here will be able to learn from this Igba boy thing and probably...
Can we have Igba boy system here?
So that it's not always a white-collar job and blue-collar job, because that's another area.
So I think there are, in Halifax today, there are Igba boys.
Are you serious?
Yeah, again, like I said, because in my warehouse, I have a lot of people that, come. In fact, people call me every day, they want to do this business, and how do they... I put them through.
But they won't live in your house. Like
no, exactly. They don't live in the house.
You won't settle them based on the...
Exactly. Yeah. So now, even in Nigeria, most people now just learn. Some people even come from their house, not living in the master's house. So they come from their house every morning and then they learn the trade. They stay there a certain number of years. They can now start their own.
So just asked before, I don't think I got clarity around that. If the Igbos have this entrepreneurial spirit and so strong it is, why didn't they use it in the East? Because you still find that they're struggling in some of the states, like Abia State, for instance, due to this sit-at-home thing. And we're not going into that one today.
Okay.
But if they will focus on, establishing their businesses back home and rather than being everywhere, don't you think it would have really helped the Southeast to economically better than where they are right now?
Well, I agree with you, but there are certain factors, the politics in Nigeria and all those things about that. And apart from that, you see, the world have evolved like it used to be. It's not about the Igbos. It's about the young ones. Are they willing to follow that path?
And industry is hard in Nigeria. We're not building. We're still a consumer. We're still very much a consumer nation. So people have to go abroad either to get
if you see
export
the shoes
parts.
that are made in the
Aba.
East,
Yeah.
the jacket, the suit, the belt.
But where is the power to keep it consistent? For instance, consistent power to keep production consistent.
I think they just go wherever the consumers are. Wherever the consumer are, maybe in the east, maybe in the north, south, west, wherever.
But like, the most important thing is that the younger generation are not willing to toe the path of Igba boy.
They're not patient.
They are not patient, exactly. As you know, as we all know, everybody wants to make money, and now you see
quick too.
Thank you.
Want to drive Benz.
Quick. That's what is. That's number one. The number one killer about that. It's not the elders. They have tried. The people have tried. But when you bring a young boy now to stay for 5 years or 4 years, nobody even want to learn the trade.
The reason why I actually brought that up, Vo held the story in the US, why the biggest hotels are being run by Indians. That's because the ones that got there early, they identified that this was going to be a good place that a lot of people haven't discovered. And they jumped on it. The hotels are running, the motels and all those little places, and they got funds from banks. And today, most of those big hotels in America, I haven't really done enough research on that. That's what I heard. And I think if the Igbos are able to push in that direction, they probably own the industries and others will learn from them. But beyond that, why is that part of the country not pushing it on the federal government to recognize it? Now we have MIT
to recognize,
talking about
to recognize the Igba boy
system, especially,
and maybe bring it
policy
into
framework so that it becomes part of the educational structure.
We hear that it's been mentioned around places like
Harvard Business School.
Especially now that we don't even have technical schools, that we don't have all the trade schools that they are dying off. That would be a good incentive or some.
Is that a conversation that is going on within the Igbo community?
There are conversations going on within the book, but again, like I said, the focus now would be the people are they willing, the younger generation. So I think maybe because of the fact that the younger generation are not willing, so that's why most people are not eager to
interested.
Okay, I'll give you an instance. You see, most of the Igbos you see here in the West, right? Those days, they were sent here in the West, to expose themselves. Right. So maybe their dads are doing business in Nigeria. They send the kids there to learn, get the formal education, learn more business, learn technology, and then come back home to develop the business. But because of maybe they came here and then things changed, right? And then they couldn't go back, right? And
so the investment is, I won't say lost, but it's diverted.
Yes. So that is what you are seeing, when you are talking about like in the Abia or even in the Anambra, why those things are not. You see, so the people that actually did this Igba boy, created billionaires and all those things from it. A lot of the billionaires you see in Igbo land today, all of them went.
So you mean
the
people
Igba
like
boy.
the UBA CEO would have gone through Igba boy? You mean? Is that what you mean?
Maybe at some point, Tony Elumelu.
Would he have gone through Igba boy?
Is it possible?
Not really, but he must have gone through.
Maybe someone in his family.
Koscharis went through Igba boy.
It's not Igbo.
Koscharis went through
And
Igba boy.
he does speak openly about it.
And he talks about it openly, right? Yeah. The guy that does that produces car Innocent.
Innocent.
He went through Igba.
How about Cubana chief priest and the Cubana himself? These people, do they go through this thing? These guys have a lot of money.
Probably.
Yeah, but
I don't know what I'm doing with time.
It's not too late. It's not too late.
Guys have money. It's the way they spread through the parties.
There's a scene from that Afamefuna movie that was really there were many scenes that were moving for me, but there's one that I wanted you to speak to. So after the boy had, stayed and with a very positive attitude, under his boss, motivating, innovating, and all that. And when the time came, and then there was this huge ceremony. It seemed like he didn't know that it was time. So just as if the graduation date is not set in stone.
Okay.
It's the boss that knows when he's going to release.
Set them free.
Is going to free them.
That means there's no transparency.
No, it's not. It's normally said. So normally, like you said, because normally when the person comes, so maybe after 1 year, they draw up an agreement.
Okay, so maybe that part.
So it ranges 5 to
drama.
maybe 5 to 7 years on that.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is the blessing that
Even the lessons they learn.
Because the
There are a
blessing.
lot of secrets I feel they transfer to them during that period.
Yeah. So the lessons, and also, you see, the thing is also let me talk about that. So the blessing is very important because the blessing goes a long way. That when your guy settles, it can even still allows him to be part of the church, to be in the shop.
Yeah.
He might even still live with your guy, for like maybe 1 year or 2 years, and then before he then say, okay, maybe I need to move her. And then when your guy brings goods, he's allowed to come and take the goods, and then as he sells, he remits money to the Oga and others. So it's important. One of the things that once you complete that, it's good that you receive the master's blessing. Just like, when your daughter or your son gets married, he receives the father of the dad.
So what's that graduation ceremony called? What's that?
The settlement.
Yes. What's the settlement called? There's a name. There's a name for it.
Edugia.
Okay,
So
Edugia.
So that's what we saw it in Anambra.
If I could take you back to the issue of younger generation, which you have so much passionately talked about.
Yes.
You are of a different breed. You have you've accumulated degrees and you've gone through what is the most sophisticated business school scheme in the world. But we don't have that kind of examples anymore. The younger generations in Nigeria today, specifically the ones we refer to as the Gen Z, they see the Igba boy as something meant for those who do not have the aptitude to go through the formal educational system. What do you think about this?
That is right. They see it, but they made the mistake. Like I said, we went through the formal education, and there are a lot of people. Maybe there might be not a lot of cases in Halifax, but I'm sure when you go to the different parts of Canada, in America, you see people that have gone through formal education and they still goes through the route. The problem we have is just the normal thing, the Gen Zs. Everybody they wants to believe that they can make money online. Doing fast. Yeah. The core thing with Igba boy is the patience to go through that.
Yeah.
About that. Yeah. And the truth, I give you an example. You see, when you go through the Igba boy, through the market, there is nothing that they don't know. Like I told you, I have a warehouse in Nigeria, and I have a guy that manages that. When you look at him, in fact, I'm also doing. Maybe he might call me the boss, but I'm also doing the Igba boy
with him.
Through him. And you know why? Because
you are not on ground.
Not on ground. There is nothing I buy.
He probably doesn't know.
There is nothing I buy that he does not. He has to
make him
confirm it.
Okay.
Wow.
So if I said now I want to buy this car, I have to send it to him and say, okay,
what do you think?
Cost this. How do you think? Cost this. And then he went through the Igba boy. He spent like 5 or 6 years, and he knows everything about the market.
So, Chief, I in fact, I'm interested in that part so much. But I want to ask you, now, the world is changing. There's digital online businesses. Technology is setting in right now. There are people who do businesses and you don't see their faces anymore. Yeah. How do you think this Igba boy apprenticeship thing would evolve or adapt to today's situation?
But that is still what we do now with the, like I told you, I did the Igba boy, and
you did the virtual one?
Yeah, it's the technology.
This is a different type of
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And when I'm telling you now about the one I'm still doing, it's still the same thing. It's with the help of technology. WhatsApp, you send it, and then you send all those things, and then the pictures and all those things.
My own question is around my question is around there's a couple of things that you've described here that makes me wonder. Yeah. So the formal business schools, so the Harvard business schools of this world and all the other formal business schools, do you feel that the Igba boy business school system, because that's what it is it justifiably, a good equivalent? Or do you think someone who goes through Igba boy, and still needs to go to a Harvard business school, some formal business school?
I don't think if you go through the Igba boy system and you actually know what to do, you don't need to go through Harvard.
So it's comparable.
Yeah, you don't need to go through Harvard. Because
there are a lot of gaps, Chief. Sorry, there are a lot of loopholes there because
is it not? You're making the profits now. Making profits.
No. Apart from that, the agreement that they sign, anybody can renege on it, and it could be just left for elders who probably do not know what the parties involved have suffered.
But the elders are the elders not a sufficient judicial system to settle matters of Igba boy between apprentice and his mentor? If a mentor does wayo, or the apprentice, runs away with money, aren't they able to all settle it?
Or how do they settle such issues?
Okay, so first of all, now when you're talking about, take note that the knowledge that the apprentice have acquired, the value that is passed on, is not something that you can take away. It's just like what you learn in your degree.
It's invaluable. It's yours forever.
So
it's much more than even the money.
Exactly. The Oga might not settle, but there are some people that the Oga didn't settle, but their family was the family able to gather money, and then he starts. So the most important thing is not about the capital. The capital is but it's the knowledge, the school that you have acquired on that. That's a school.
I need to enroll. I'm coming to you.
What about core values? What would you say are some core values that are the bedrock of this Igba boy system? Going? What keeps it going? Integrity, trust is one of them. But what else?
Well, you have to have the patience. Of course, you're talking about the years. Yeah, exactly. That's what you do. So that's the most important thing. It's something that you have to decide that I want to do. Then you have the integrity, to be able to do that. It has to be trustworthy. Because you see, the thing is that some of these boy that we're talking about, right, at the end of the day, they develop so much trust from the Oga customer that the Oga customer will patronize them instead of the Oga.
Wow.
So so the trust is very important there, about it.
Yeah, and we've been saying Igba boy. Is there a female version?
Yes.
Do females participate in this, or is just boys? So is there Igba girl or something?
Good question, because if there is, I would like to sign up and make lots of dollars.
Well, of course, some of these Ogas they are ladies, right?
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you see, there are some things that maybe the Oga, in the course of maybe the boy is still learning, the man dies and the wife takes over the business.
Oh, wow.
And then takes to run it. And apart from that, there are also some women that have their own businesses, and then they have their
And a follow-up to that will be that, okay, we've identified that the Gen Zs are not really interested in this. Is there anything the community is doing to encourage them or encourage us? Because we're all Gen Zs.
Are you Gen Z?
We want to wear collar. Well, anybody that is not paying attention to business is categorized in the same bracket.
No, Gen Z is the way you think.
Well, yeah, it's an ideology. Yeah,
It's the way you think.
So if you are still going to office, staring at computers and whatnot, you're probably in the same bracket.
I think so. I think one of the things I found out, discussing with the Gen Z is that they want to be, they want to do business, but they don't want to go through the process. And I don't think it works. That's the truth. I've not seen where it works, and I don't believe it doesn't work about that. So that's the thing. The Gen Z, or they will tell you, I don't have time to, spend 5 years or so is somebody about that. But the process is the most important thing. You have to learn the process. And these are step by step. Whatever business. Yeah, we believe that, some people say, they can put it online and sell and all those things. It doesn't really work that way.
Like that.
I don't really know. Yeah, exactly, hands-on. It doesn't really work like that.
This stage and time that YouTube
Yes.
everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
I give you an instance. I got a brake pad, and I said, okay, initially when I was trying to start it, I said, I can put it in Amazon and then sell it in Amazon, right? So I produced it and I put it in Amazon, and it didn't sell, right? It's not what I thought. So I found out that maybe there are processes that I have to follow, or things that I need to do prior
But
to
somebody
that.
back home would have pulled somebody and the way and say, my color, come and buy it. You have sold it.
So I have to take the thing back to Nigeria, to sell it over there, about that. So because I've not learned the process,
The marketing,
how the thing do. So that's the thing with the Gen Z. So they see, I can go to China, I can go to India, produce this thing and put it online, and
Can you walk us through
it doesn't work that way.
that settlement process? What are the rituals? What really happened around that? Because there are a lot of people who probably want to learn, to understand before they get into it fully.
Having gone through Igba boy for 5-6 years.
After your years of apprenticeship.
So just like I said, so when they start, normally they have like an agreement drawn and said that, okay, he's going to learn the trade for like 5 years or 6 years or 7 years. And maybe within the time, they can now come back and say that, do assessment, and the other can say, I don't think he's ready yet. Maybe we give him extra 2 years, extra 1 year for him to be ready. Based on the observance. So anyway, so at the end of the term, whether 5 years, whether 6 years or 7 years, so the organ normally, just like what you saw in the affirmation from the movie, they will invite the family, and normally there will be food, there will be drink, then the organ will call the boy and pray for him.
With kola nuts.
With kola nuts.
I saw that in the movie.
So the Oga will pray for him, give him his blessing, and then the Oga will now say, okay, I'm settling him with this. So, and in settlement, they normally can give cash, they can also give stock, goods, and even some of them will say, okay, depending on how the person did, on how the financial capability. Some people will say, this shop in Idumota, I'm giving it to you with all the goods in it.
Not loans.
Not loans. No loans.
Wow.
Okay.
They agree about that. So that was the settlement. And he told me, he said, like the importers, anytime the goods comes, you can come and take the goods.
Wow.
And
This seems like a real strengthening of the community,
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
strengthening of the
Building the
economy
next.
of the
Yeah.
community. Because if this happens, I'm assuming, for instance, now that apprentice was a member of the community, a son of a member of a
Exactly,
community.
yeah.
So wealth is beginning it's transferring, but it's circulating
Circulating,
within
so,
the community.
and because the boy now, after 2 years, he goes to the community.
Pick someone
he
else.
picks
Pick
up
someone else, and then repeats the cycle.
And the cycle repeats. So that is the backbone of the Igbo business.
Fantastic.
But people from different cultures altogether, how can they replicate that thing? If you want to, I'm not saying the Igbo business person getting someone from outside. Assuming you want to give a template to a non-Igbo person who has business and wants to run Igba circle format.
I don't even think they want to give the template. Let's ask. Is it possible?
That's only if they go to the shrine.
There is no try. And the template, I've just given you the template.
Well, there are some hidden
it's
secrets
a cultural aptitude.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think
that
it's
is
a
There
cultural
may be
peculiar
some nuances that we don't know. Don't rush.
No, but every business have
Secrets.
Secrets.
But I agree with that cultural nuance thing, because generally speaking, the Igbo spirit is boisterous. It's on those streets of the markets. You know, it takes something for you to just drag someone that you don't know. You just pull someone that you don't know and say, "Buy color, come and buy." You know, the marketing is aggressive. The marketing doesn't care. It doesn't see face. It doesn't. It just goes. It's such a go-getter attitude that I'm not sure that exists in all different cultures. And they'll always tell you that we get them.
Yeah.
So there's that the optimistic
it's not available.
first. It's like whatever you want, even if that's not what I'm selling.
Yeah.
I will take you to my brother down the road who sells such a thing. So that camaraderie, that my brother, they will always tell you, my brother, for my brother's shop down the road, someone else has it. I don't know if.
Yeah, because you see that what we so sometimes like when you say I have it, I think in Yoruba they call it baranda, something like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I didn't hear Yoruba
Or something.
Yeah, they call it baranda. Yeah.
So like in the East we call it Onabo Safia, right?
Onabo Safia. I know Afia is market.
Onabo
Because I
Safia.
did language training.
So it's basically what you describe, right? Some of these people, they don't own the market, they don't own shop, they don't have shop, right? So they come to the market and you come and they rush and say yes, you come and buy, and then it goes to
takes the person to the real seller and takes
shop.
his own commission.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's what it is. And
then there's this joke that's online, a musician that sang a song and said someone will come, like the Oga, the real boss, will go to an apprentice shop and will pretend as if the apprentice is the Oga, and will say, will pretend as if he's the owner of the shop. He is an apprentice and goes to the real man's shop and say, "What is wrong with you boys? Can't you see that customer is there? Can you bring out all the TVs that you have?" And then the person that wants to buy believes that this guy is the actual owner, is the boss. Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's just one boy off the street.
Those are the nuances we're talking about.
Yeah.
So there's also that there's no the sense of hierarchy is very reduced, so that the boss and the apprentice kind of like can operate on the same level
for the purpose of
that transaction.
Yeah. Even there are some of this boy you say, like when the customer comes, the customer has also things that is dealing with the Oga. The Oga will just stay one side, and then the customer, the boy will just take care of the whole thing, and then.
You've talked about trust. You've talked about all of that is helping this thing work.
Resilience.
But Igbo people are very proud people. How does that one come into? Because you have to be that humble for 6 years, 7 years. And some of them are actually grown boys. If you see some of them in the, what do you call that, Ogbo Hill, or no, Ariaria Market, for instance, at Onitsha Bridgehead.
Is it not the dream? It's
what role does
focus
that?
on the dream now.
Yeah, but so, how do you balance that?
They might be proud outside, but when they comes to the house,
they come down.
To the shop, they come down. They're humble.
Focus on the dream.
Or what does the boss do beyond that to keep them humble?
There is nothing the boss. It's just the same thing,
They're looking forward to graduating.
They're looking forward to graduating.
But also, how about the other home services that they do, washing Oga's car and all those things? Is it still part of that?
Yeah, that's still part of it. Yes,
part of the training.
That's part of the training.
Wow.
You serve your mentor.
They serve your mentor. Yeah. So like when they come back from the market, they fetch water. Some of them helps the wife to cook, and then they wash their Oga clothes,
Gen Zs will call that slavery.
So you see, thank you very much. That's what we're talking about, you know. So that's what you're talking about. The Gen Zs, you know.
They can't keep up.
So is there a future? Is there a future for Igba boy? Knowing what we know now with Gen Z, is there a future for the Igba boy system?
There is a future because, like I said, the Igba boy cannot. It's not even now in Nigeria. It's not really done the traditional way that it used to do. Like like I've given a instance that there are some people that comes from their house, or comes from their parents' house to learn the market about that. So even some of the guys doesn't want to keep the
and have to feed them and
exactly. So some of the guys now they want to take people to learn, and even some people charges money now. Some people charges money. I have a couple of cousins that I want them to go through, and they have to pay for them to be trained on that. So
actually, because when there's that kind of commitment, they will have to sit down and be serious now about it. So you paid school fees.
So they are raised because let's remember that the essence is about knowing the process, knowing the business, how this thing is done about that. So that is the process that is, the people, that's the cotton. The capital, some people, they just want to know the business. Okay, I'll give you an example. Even here in the West, some people comes to me and said, I have the money now, I want to invest in your business, right? Yeah, some people have the money, but they don't know the process.
They don't know the process.
And maybe they don't have the time, or they're not willing to to go through the.
But that sounds like another level of it, like in buying stock or investing or becoming partner. Is that another level to anyone who wants to probably just put in the money into your business without necessarily going through Igba boy?
But that's not Igba boy now.
But that's investment. That's investment. That's
okay. So do you, is that part of the curriculum?
Igba boy, you have to go through the process.
Oh, okay.
So when are you going to open school now so that you can put me in your school?
What does it take to enroll?
How long will it take me to graduate?
How long does it take you to graduate?
Well, I have another question very similar to that. Well, Igbo men have been known to stay very long before they get married. Some of them maybe 48, 50 and above.
What has it got to do with Igba boy?
Is Igba boy
contribution.
the reason why they stay that long? Because they have to serve a master for so long before they start working?
Not really, because if you look at it, Igba boy is just like the way you go to formal education, right? So maybe you spend 5 years or 6 years in the university, and then it's secondary, and then college and all those things. So it's not about that. And also, I think it's also maybe the notion. I know people that they married in their 30s and their 20s about that. So generally people say that Igbos, they want to be made before they marry, right?
Because they take care of their wives.
That's the take care of their wives.
You see it in her George. You can tell that. You see it in her head tie that she's well taken care.
So it's nothing. I don't even see something really wrong with that, because at the end of the day, we all know that when you marry or when you start to have a family that you cannot take care of. Maybe the marriage might collapse and all those things about that. So the Igba boy is not really that. It's just that generally Igbos, they want to have certain things, in
place.
Things that
the money in place to be rolling.
They can fall before they can get before they can marry.
So as we wrap up, one last question, unless you all have another one.
Yeah.
Is there any other area, because this is about trade, right? We don't see Igba boy in politics per se. We don't see Igba boy in
Is that not Igba boy? I thought there's Igba boy in politics.
Do you have any politics?
All those guys that follow politicians. That's the Igba boy now.
Fubara is Igba boy now.
Fubara is kind of Igba boy now.
But on a serious note, I think there is.
But they are not Igbos.
There is an important.
They learn from them.
There is an important question that Modele and Promise were trying to ask. I didn't get a very clear sense of that question.
Okay.
I imagine that there can be a structure as big as this, and there is nothing like a guild or association that serves like some kind of check and balances and regulators to the process and the system. Are there guilds or associations
for the Igba boy?
Yeah.
Okay, so
the Igba boy
yes,
system?
Right now I understand that the market unions now, they have made some rules like, okay, if the boy serves you for a number of years, you have to settle him on that. What I don't know, I cannot say is how do they enforce it.
Okay. But the associations are there, the guilds are there.
Yeah. But again, no master wants to associate himself that you don't want to be known that kids people serve you for years and you don't settle them. And then also within the community, also the elders, also when they come back, then they
some
also
kind of checks and balances
about that. But I think the most important is that everybody wants to settle. Now the question will be that some people will be that, okay, did he settle him well or not, right? So whereby you see like some people saying, okay, at the end of 5 years or 6 years, he gives him 1 million, or at the end of whereas the other people, give him, give 10 million and all those things about that. So that's there are different layers in the settlement on that.
Yeah. A final word for you. Yes. We'll leave you to say that one. Your Kingsmen might be watching as well, and you want to send them a word, and you say, okay, we've seen all the challenges with the Igba boy currently. Gen Zs are not interested, and all of those things happening. What do you think your Kingsmen should be thinking about as far as Igba boy as we wrap up?
So the Igbos, we have known to be business people about that. And the Igba boy is what that most Igbos build, they build their business on about that. So sometimes, here, like I said, in Halifax, when I look at the number of businesses, it looks like the Igbos are nowhere to be found in the business line about that. And then we start to ask, what is the thing that is causing it? Maybe some people, the fear of, they want to start and all those things. Or maybe the people don't have time, or people are, because of the 2 weeks check that comes in, they are comfortable with that steady paycheck instead of venturing into the unknown on that. So, but the Igba boy system, is what Igbos are known. All we need to do is to structure it.
Right.
It's not going to be in the traditional. And there are people are willing to learn. I mean, people are willing to share their experience, raise other people on that. Like I said, I have some people that comes to me, they are going through in the West, they are going through the process of about that. So it's something that will continue to modify, fine-tune.
So more people in the community need to think about this, need to get engaged.
Yeah, because just like we said, when people think about the Igba boy, they always think of the traditional way.
But it doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't have to be. Technology has made things easy. You just have to follow the process.
Let's do now. No, I don't want to do with you. It's me and Toby. Let's go. Let's do Igba boy.
Igba boy. Igba boy. Do you have 5 to 7 years to give?
Let's do it now.
Don't
worry, we will just figure out. I don't even have 2 years to give.
That's the thing.
What is that rolling in money now? In business money.
They say they have cheated us.
Okay. I'll take you to Mozambique.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, Limpopo. Straight.
Chief Maxwell, thank you so much for coming. We really don't want to see this thing die. And that's why we're giving it life. And we're hoping that people who are watching will reconsider going back to Igba boy and keeping that culture going.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for coming, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And to my troublesome colleagues in the studio, Soji,
nice hanging out with you, as always.
My troublesome sister, thank you so much for your input to this wonderful topic.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining us. Our heritage carries lessons that the world is only beginning to study, and we're glad to explore them with you.
Absolutely. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with someone who needs to hear about Igba boy on Niger Now. Until next time, see you soon.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Bye.